I'd like to go over maybe my personal journey with iodine. Starting with pharmacy school back in the 70s, we did not learn anything about iodine, and probably because it wasn't the new hot item on the drug company's bestseller list. Anyway, when I was in pharmacy school, the only thing we learned about iodine was that it was toxic. So I've come from no iodine to using mega amounts of iodine and perfectly comfortable with that. And I think the point that really drove that home is one of the problems with iodine deficiency and extreme iodine deficiency is a brain misdevelopment called cretinism, which is in the mothers that are extremely iodine deficient, which causes mental retardation and growth inhibition. If you ask a U.S. endocrinologist or a family practice doctor if they've ever seen a true case of cretinism in the United States, they'll probably say no. And maybe a seasoned endocrinologist maybe seen one in his practice. But back in 2015, Jorge Flechas and I were invited to go to Ecuador to speak with Dr. Ignacio Ramirez, endocrinologist and advisor to the Ecuadorian Health Department on the necessity of iodine supplementation. Dr. Ramirez was already into iodine therapy. He understood the problems with cretinism because he took us to a village outside of Quito, probably an hour outside, that has a high prevalence of cretinism. And we went to the downtown area, to the downtown market, walked through the market, and probably in that short time, I personally saw 5 creatine-affected children. And I say children, they are very short, maybe 3 feet tall, 3 feet 5, severely mentally retarded, usually are deaf and cannot speak. And you look at yourself and say, this is an easily preventable disease. Why did this happen to these kids? It should not happen to anyone. And so, after that experience, there was no question in my mind that iodine was absolutely necessary. It was just a matter of finding out how much to give.